the link. He has shared the link with DLG Stefan. So I'm hoping DLG Stefan will come on. Outside of that, I'm left alone. But being the person who I am, the teacher who I am, I know we will get through. And what we will have today is a very interactive session wherein we are also able to learn from each other. How does that sound?
Great idea. Great.
Awesome. All right. There is someone on this call that I am able to ask at the last minute, and that Kiwanian is president from Kiwanis Club of Greater Portmore. Are you here, President? I saw you earlier.
On day, good morning.
All right, can you do the welcome and recognition of clubs for me, please?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I am President Michelle from the Kiwanis Club of Greater Portmore. The audience has just say. I just want to wish everyone a pleasant morning and welcome for being here this morning. I know it's a Saturday morning and we all have our daily stuff to do, weekend things to do. So it's a pleasure to have you here with us this morning. In regards to the clubs who are online, can you just state your name and your delegation? We have persons from 23 West, Guyzil.
Hi, I'm DP Esmeline, and I'm on with two people right now, DP Amy Rose and Advisor McFarling, but we expect another 2 or 3 to join us. So I'm looking forward to this training exercise. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Any other club to go ahead?
Good morning, all. This is DP Jennifer. Kiwanis from South St. Catherine. I'm not seeing any other members on us yet, but I'm sure they'll be joining shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, DP Jen.
Hi, good morning. Good morning to you all. All right, sorry, go ahead.
Good morning, Secretary Chantel from Royal Lowedersville. I'm expecting the faculty advisor to join shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Chantel.
Good morning again to you all. Yes, I'm joining from the Kiwanis Club of Armadale. LG just sit here, DLG John Donna, and a few more persons online come on, and wish to have a good meeting. Thank you. Division 24.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, all. I'm Julian Johnson, Staff Advisor, Harborview Primary School. I'm not sure if my other faculty member will be joining. I'm not sure if she was going face-to-face because she wasn't aware of the online meeting, but if she does, we will know. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Staff Advisor Julian.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
This is DP Audrey Francis from the Kiwanis Club of Sunshine City, Portmore, faculty advisor for the Builders Club of the Elsha Heights community. There are 4 of us online, Director Ornette, Kiwani, and Thomas, and of course, one of our presenters, D.A. Oden. Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much, DP Audrey.
Good morning, everyone. This is Andre Maxwell, Staff Advisor for Montego Bay High School. I hope to have a very good meeting today.
Thank you very much for being here.
Good morning, everyone. This is Kiwani and Ashana from KCCA, that's Kiwanis Club of Charlton, Alexandria, Division 24 as well. I'm the only person here right now from my club, although I'm expecting a few more persons, and I look forward to what I can bring back to my club on this meeting.
Thank you very much for that.
Good morning. This is Suzette Hamilton, President of the Kiwanis Club of Longville Park. I am alone this morning. The faculty advisor who I work with, it's Sabbath, and so she'll not be able to make this online meeting.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Hamilton. President Hamilton, sorry about that.
Hi, good morning. I'm DP Rowena from the Kiwanis Club of Central Portmore. There are 5 of us online this morning.
Thank you, DP Rowena. Anyone else who did not give their delegation and introduce themselves?
Hi, morning. DP Layton from the Kiwanis Club of Linstead. I'm hoping the 2 faculty advisors from the Enid Bennett High School will join shortly.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm also checking to see. Yeah, go ahead, please.
DP Julian, Kiwanis Club of Ocherius, faculty advisor for the K-Kids Ocherius Primary School. We pray that you have a pleasant meeting this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, DP Judith from the Kiwanis Club of New Kingston, Kiwanian advisor to Denham Town Key Club.
Thank you very much, DP Judith. Anybody else?
Hello, good morning.
We're just checking the chat to see who I
DP
have.
Audrey. Again, sorry, I miss DP Pat. I miss DP Pat. She's also here, okay? So
Okay.
5 of us now. Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Hi, good morning. DP Sandro from the Kiwanis Club of New Kingston and JFB Kingston, Kiwanis advisor for 6 SLP schools. Harborview, Bristol Bennett, Branches of the Vine, Promise Learning Center, Ealing Basic, and Webster Memorial, and one other, I don't remember, what is 6. Good morning, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You said you have 6 persons online?
No, I'm an advisor for 6 SLP schools.
Okay, okay, sorry about that.
Good morning. I am.
Good morning.
Can you hear me?
Just a little, but you can go ahead.
I am Director Novia from ESA, and I'm not seeing any of our member online, but I'm pretty sure others will be joining.
Thank you, Director Novia.
Good morning.
Oh, it's just about to call
This
in.
is DP Marianne.
Just about to call in for her.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, go ahead, DP Marianne. We're hearing you clearly.
I'm from the Kiwanis Club. This morning I have with me DP Esmelin. She is the Kiwanis advisor for K-Kids in Seafield, and I also have my faculty advisor, Paula McFarlane from the Geisel Primary School, K-Kids.
Okay, thank you, DP Mary. I just want to also introduce my faculty advisor, Ronka West. She is the faculty advisor for the Aintree Basic School. She's also online along with myself. I'm not seeing anyone else just now, but Kiwanis Club of Greater Portmore.
Okay, DP Esmelin butting in again. I know DP Miriam didn't hear when I speak first, but I was about to introduce her since I saw her on, but she beat me to it. The thing I want to call in also is that DP Amy Rose is also on. It's because of the computer thing why you don't hear her. But 2 of us plus 3, so it's really 5 of us on now and not 4. And we expect 1 more. Thanks.
Thank you, DP Esmelin.
Yes.
Has everyone else introduced their delegation and their advisors? And for those who have not yet done or who may come on late, that information can be sent in the chat. Dear audience, over back to you.
Thank you very much, President.
You're welcome.
Michelle, always willing, always able, always capable, of jumping in at the last minute. Very supportive. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Dee.
We're now at greetings. LG, can I invite you to say your greeting?
Thank you, DA Adens. Good morning, fellow Kiwanians and friends. I hope you're all doing well. It is my pleasure to welcome each and every one of you for being here with us today. I'm extremely pleased to see so many of you on the platform this morning, which include members from all the division in Jamaica. I want to express my gratitude to the SLP committee for organizing this training, which is a significant event in the development of our members. With the start of the new Kiwanis year on October 1, it was necessary for us to provide this training for all faculty advisors and Kiwanis advisors, both experienced and new, so they can be well prepared for their respective roles. I urge you to make note of the information that will be shared and feel free to ask questions. My sincerest wishes for success in your individual roles as we work together to serve the children of the world. Thank you.
Thank you, LG. Okay, we recognize that new Kiwanians are not aware of the total SLP programs that are part of Kiwanis International. And so let us look at all of them. This is the Kiwanis family of clubs. We have our K Kids, our Builders, Key Club, Circle K, our Kiwanis Club. We have also our Action Club. Now we should bear in mind that Builders and Key Club, and I think K-Kids can be formed either in schools or community. And of course, the Action Club is a community club. We have online with us the faculty advisor for the Builders Club of Hellshire Heights, which is DP Audrey Francis. And that club was formed within the community of Hellshire Heights. And DP, I gather the club is doing very well. Ornette, President-elect Ornette.
Morning, DA.
Okay, how is your Builders Club going, which is formed in the Hellshire Heights community?
It is doing very well, DA. We meet weekly on Fridays, 4 to 5, and most of our members are usually there. They're quite active in the club.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So why do we have SLP clubs? It gives the students an opportunity for hands-on service. They're able to do fundraising, they take part in philanthropic activities, and it also gives them an awareness. It builds awareness within them. What sort of awareness do you think is being built when we have our SLP clubs? Anyone can answer or contribute, make a comment. No one wants to share?
All right, so awareness building for SLP clubs is for students at that level to be aware of fellow students who might be, in need of, bringing up their grades, having confidence issues, and to be a little bit more interactive and supportive of their fellow classmates, to help them as well, to build better leadership amongst themselves, things things of that nature.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
May I ask, when we are responding that we say who we are, I can't see, and which club you are representing, and whether or not you're a faculty or Kiwanian advisor. But that was very good. Thank you very much. Okay, so we start with our K-Kids. It's the largest service organization for elementary school students between the ages of 6 to 12. Normally in Jamaica, because these ages overlap with our primary schools, we find that our K-Kids are in our basic schools or our kindergarten schools. The information out of KI says there are more than 37,000 members worldwide. And there are some schools that have both K-Kids and Builders Clubs together because of the type of school it is. We have one in 23 West. I think it's Tollgate that has both a Builders and a K-Kids, which are sponsored by the Kiwanis Club of Maypen. Are there any other schools in any of the divisions that has this? Okay, moving on. So we move now to the Builders Club. And it's the largest service organization for middle school students, and these are the students in our primary schools here in Jamaica. You may find them in the junior high schools in North America or Canada. So we have more than 45,000 members worldwide. And then we get to Key Club, which is the high school organization sponsored by our Kiwanis clubs. Key Club assists Kiwanis in carrying out its mission to serve the children of the world. High school student members of Key Club perform acts of service in their communities, such as cleaning up parks, collecting clothing, organizing food drives. They also learn leadership skills by running meetings, planning projects, and holding elective leadership positions at the club, district, and international levels. Then we have our Circle K Club. CKI is the premier collegiate and university community service, leadership development, and friendship organization in the world. With more than 13,000, almost 14,000 members in 17 nations, it is making a positive impact on the world every day. And where do we find Circle K clubs?
Hi, morning. This is DP Layton again. Circle K clubs are found in the colleges and universities.
Okay. Do you have any in your division?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think there was not in my division.
Okay. What's your division?
23 West. I'm not sure. I think
Yeah,
there's one at Edna
we have-
Manley. I'm not
There
sure.
is a Portmore community.
Yes,
It's at
we do
Portmore
have.
Community
We do
College.
Okay.
have. And
Yeah.
the faculty advisors are as well here.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I had
And we
the
have one in
opportunity-
Winstead,
Which one is that?
Monique College,
Monique, right. Which is
Monique College,
It's fairly new.
and GC Foster.
And GC Foster, yes. So we have GC Foster, we have Monique, and we have Portmore Community College. But we also have what is known as Action Club. And it's the only service club for adults with disabilities. And there are in excess of 10,000 members worldwide. Club members become competent, capable, caring leaders through the vehicle of service. Now, this is one area that I think we also need to pay some more attention to and see how best we can go into the communities, the organizations which cater to persons with disability and form new action clubs. What are the core values for our SLPs? Character building, the ability to do the right thing even when it might be the unpopular choice. Leadership, the ability to listen, communicate, serve, and guide others. Inclusiveness, accepting and welcoming the differences in others. Caring, the act of being concerned about or interested in another person or situation. Are we comfortable with these core values?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Yes, we are. I wanted to ask a question, but you're not seeing. So before you had
What
moved on to the
question is
other
that?
club. Pardon me?
What question is that?
I wanted a little bit of clarification with the K kids and builders, since they are the same age group. How do you determine if you call your club K kids or builders club? I
Well,
wanted to ask that before we moved on, just a little bit of clarification there.
okay.
Because the age groups are basically the
They
same.
overlap. They overlap. What age is the school leaving age for basic school?
I think about 4, because primary school starts at 5, either 4 or 5.
Okay.
Primary school starts at 6.
All right. So, as we said before earlier, because of the educational system that we have here in Jamaica,
Yeah.
clubs decide on whether they're gonna form a K Kids club or a Builders club. They both do the same functions. The builders in the builders in the primary school go all the way up to when they leave to go to high school. You could form a K Kids club in a primary school. In Jamaica, we prefer to form them in our basic schools to give a more separation.
Okay.
But last year under International President Bert West, he wanted us to form, or recommended that we form K Kids clubs, because the K Kids clubs are the bottom building block for Kiwanis clubs. So if you have a good K Kids club operating, when a student goes to primary school, the student will want to become a builder. And then our builders want to become key clubbers, and it goes all the way up Circle K, and we come in, we have a building block to fuel or to have membership in our Kiwanis clubs. So as I said before, clubs that are schools that start from kindergarten all the way up to primary can have 2 clubs there, as at the Tollgate Club, the Tollgate Primary School. So if you are in a primary school and you want to form a K Kids club, fine, because it's from 6 to 12. You could do that, as well as you could do a Builders club. It's your choice.
Okay, so the question is that.
Okay, glad I could help.
6 to 12.
So then, based on these core values, members base their leadership and service on the core values we're looking at. And in order to better help us in developing these core values, we have to form new clubs or reactivate those that have lost their charter. During COVID, we lost quite a number of clubs, and we have not been able to reactivate some of those clubs. What we find from what is happening now is that clubs are forming new clubs. Kiwanis clubs are forming new clubs. And there may be an issue in getting some of these clubs reactivated. Maybe the schools are not able to reactivate the clubs at this time. So we leave this for when we get into building new clubs. So this morning, I went back and I looked at the SLP reports, which are available. And we have 8 builders clubs in Eastern Canada, 14 in Bahamas. Jamaica has 72. We're climbing back. Caribbean Atlantic, which is those countries in the smaller Caribbean islands, they have 11. When we look at K-Kids, Eastern Canada only has 3 so far. Bahamas has 38. Jamaica has 63 and Caribbean Atlantic has 27. Now you'll see that Jamaica is the forerunner or the leader for these clubs. So we have to work on getting the dues paid to keep these numbers and to add to the clubs that we now have. For Key Club, we have Eastern Canada, they have 42 because it's high schools. Bahamas has 28, Jamaica has 98, Caribbean Atlantic has 15. And for Circle K, oh, I forgot the Jamaica. I hope you don't take me to task. Eastern Canada has 3 and the Caribbean has 26. I will re-look the information and tell you how much Circle K clubs we have in Jamaica. And for our action clubs, Eastern Canada has 13 and they're very active. The Bahamas has 2 and Jamaica we have 5. And the Jamaican clubs, Abilities Foundation, Cornwall Caribbean Christian Center for the Deaf, Promise Learning Center, and Randolph Lopez School of Hope. From the participants here, do we have any other Jamaican action club? No? Okay, let's move on. For clubs that are unable to support a SLP club, you can establish a Kiwanis Bring Up Grades club or program in a school that is willing to accommodate such a program. Bring Up Grades or BUG is a program designed to provide recognition to students who raise their grades from one grading period to the next. Now, the purpose of the BUG program is to encourage students by recognizing their efforts to improve their grades. Is there a club here that currently has an active BUG program?
President Michelle from Kiwanis School of Greater Portmore. Yes,
Go
we do
ahead.
active BUG program both in Entry Basic and MSOM Basic.
How does it work?
Well, what we do, just as what you had stated earlier, we offer prizes to the students who have improved their grades over the term. When we are awarding them our prizes, we usually give them like certificates of appreciation, of improvement, I should say. And sometimes we do plaques, gifts. We're in the process now to probably think of doing like a scholarship towards their schooling, but we are not fully on that part yet, but that's what we do now. We give them certificates and gifts and stuff like that. Just to appreciate the fact that they have moved up from one level to another.
Okay. Do you focus on particular subject areas?
It's mathematics and language arts, I believe it is. Yes, math and language arts.
Okay, thank you, President Michelle.
You're welcome.
Do we have any other faculty advisor on that has such a program in their school?
Well, morning, everybody. Well, as DP Michelle says from A3 Basic School, we do have a plaque that we
Where club are you from?
entry is Antirunka.
Oh, you are the faculty advisor, Auntie Runka. Okay, go ahead. I
Yes.
cannot see because I'm screen
Yes.
share.
I know, I'm sorry about that. So we have the plaque that we're supposed to engrave the child's name. So we have identified that child from last school term. So we just need to get that child's name on the plaque because it is at the institution in the office. So we have been doing good at entry as well, you should know. So we have been doing excellent well. Really, Q1 is we started our club now. We have our meetings. So we are in the process of selecting our leaders now for the board for the KKids at the institution.
Okay.
So we are in the process and we are going on there.
Julian John, oh, sorry. When you finish, I'd like to say something.
All right. Auntie Runka, how has it helped you in terms of, or helped the school? The
Okay,
book program.
Well, the book program really has done well because we have what we use is a spelling area. So we have identified students that are not really up to standard in their age group, what we're expecting from them. So we use them and we use the spelling area for our institution to have the weaker ones on the program, not really the children from the club, but the overall institution. So we use that to encourage them to build up their grades and their grading system in the spelling area so we can identify and highlight them. And children are really interested. Well, school has just begun, so, we have introduced it to them. So we still send out the list for them to bring up their grades in that spelling area because the teachers we use the class 3 students because they're the older ones. So we use those students. So they practice them on Fridays and give them a spelling. So the ones that are weak, we are going to put them on that program to see who is the person. Normally give them first, second, and third for that era. But we just highlight the number 1 student.
Okay, thank you.
On the plaque. You're welcome.
Thank you, Auntie Runka. Someone else wanted to make a contribution.
Yes, I'm Julian Johnson, staff advisor, Harborview Primary School.
Okay.
When the program started, I must say I didn't actually know that it was something that should be ongoing. Auntie Sandra, that's Sandra Davis,
Right.
and Auntie Bev, who at the time introduced it to us, and the children were just coming out of COVID. So I thought that it was just something to, kind of get them settled and get them motivated. So I was meaning to talk to them about it because I really found that it was a good program. When we did it, what I actually did was an average thing. So I kept record of the average for the 6 weeks test and the end of term test. And then we compare the average. And if the average improved, then it means that the child has improved in whatever area. So we weren't really specific with which area, just an improvement in the overall average. And the child who had the largest average increase was the child who got first. But all the students, so we had actually just did it with, the Builders Club then. And the children were really motivated. I really liked the program and I would like to continue it. But frankly, I thought it was just a one-time thing. I didn't know it was a program that, was ongoing.
Okay, thank you.
Dear audience, this is LG Ronit. I am happy to hear 2 success story about this program because as it relates to Division 23 US, this is actually our flagship program for this year where all our clubs are being encouraged to implement a bug program in the respective schools.
Thank you, LG. I was waiting for you to jump in. But I didn't want to say it because it would be your prerogative to
No
speak.
problem. Understand.
Is there any other school? And don't think I'm beating it, but for schools, for clubs that don't have a SLP program, because it's very costly to maintain, I can tell you, this is a wonderful program for you to introduce. And guess what happened, guys? Once you have such a program going in your school, you will find that the teachers and possibly the principal wants you to bring in a Builders or a K-Kids program in this school. Is there anyone else that has a success program, Bugs program? I know Hellshot Kiwanis Club of Sunshine City does, but as a presenter, I can't speak to it. I don't know if President-elect Ornette or DP Audrey wants to speak about it, because we are bombarded every year by our principal to do the program. Any of you ladies want to say something? Or we're moving on? Moving on. So the other program that you can establish if you can't afford a SLP club is your Terrific Kids. And what does terrific mean? It means that the student is thoughtful, enthusiastic, respectful, responsible, inclusive, friendly, inquisitive, and capable. And so this program really develops character, self-esteem, and perseverance. Students work with their classroom teacher to establish goals to improve behavior, peer relationships, attendance, or schoolwork. All students who achieve their goals after a specified time are recognized as Terrific Kids. Now, you can recognize the student in any way. It can be a pizza day, ice cream day, a food theme party, or presentation of certs and other giveaways. Now, I'd like to hear from a club that has a successful Terrific Kids program.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, DA audience. This is DP Belmore from Eastern St. Andrew. I just wanted to make a comment because I think historically the understanding, I think what we normally do is just have the program running like for 1 year. So I think the concept of an ongoing program is perhaps new, but it is something that would be worth considering to have it maintained, not just for one period, but over, are ongoing over a number of years.
Thank you for that. Some clubs do have it going for more than 1 year if they do find that it is effective and the teachers are asking for it. But thank you for that. Is there any club that has it going? Any club that has it going for more than 1 year? Go ahead to the person who opened their mic.
The Kiwanis Club of New Kingston had a program where we had with our legally prep, and it was very fantastic. The children are so helpful with their teachers, and at the end of the day, we also gave them not just tokens and serve them refreshments. I think they had pizza and all those nice food things. But it was great to see that our kids learn how they can assist their classmates, assist their teachers, be good citizens among their school peers. And so I know it's a program that New Kingston cherish very much, and we do extend it in all our SLP, especially our K-Kids clubs.
Okay, thank you for that. And the other thing too is those of us who are club secretaries and have to do the monthly report, it comes on the monthly report every month. It asks you to indicate which of these SLP programs you have in your going in your club. Bugs is there. Excuse me. Terrific Kids is there, as well as the builders and so on. So if you have never had it for more than one period, it is something to consider, because with what is going on in our communities now, this is a good program for us to have in our schools that we're working with, because it does teach our students, it helps them to be thoughtful, and it helps them to be respectful. And my little opinion, some of the issues that I'm seeing being reported now in our schools, a Terrific Kids program, I think, would be a wonderful program to introduce to our schools once we have a foothold in it, or we're able to contact the leadership of the school to say, hey, would you mind if we introduce a Terrific Kids program or a Bugs program in your schools? So thank you for those comments. DA
Odens, good morning. Can I just ask a question?
Sure. If I can answer it, I will. Or I research it.
Yeah, yeah.
DP, babe,
yeah,
I am
man.
so glad to see you.
Yeah, just joined on. Just joined. Yeah. I heard some time ago, I think I was online at one of the programs about Terrific Kids. And I remember being told that you can have a terrific kid, not even if it's not in your school. So if your club don't have SLPs, you can do a terrific kid in another school.
Yeah, man. Any
Oh.
school that you identify, DP Bev, that is not having a SLP program. And can I tell you, you can have it if you have K-Kids and you have builders, you can still have Terrific Kids and you can still have Bugs. You can have all of them.
Right, but if your club don't have any of those programs, you can go to a school and just start a Terrific Kid program. Because what you mentioned, is so true in terms of what's happening now. And so if even your club don't have the SLP program, the SLP, then you can find a school and just do it in there, because it will help.
Okay, but remember you have to have a sponsor. So would your club sponsor it?
Well, yes, I mean a club, you'd have to find a sponsoring club.
Yes. You
My
can.
club has, as Sandra just said, we have SLPs and we have the Bugs and Terrific Kids program going. But I'm just thinking of clubs that don't have any SLPs.
Right.
Choose another school that don't have anything, any programs or so in their school, and do the Terrific Kids.
Yes. It would be good. And as I have said earlier, once you have a foothold in that school and your program is going very well, sometimes what we have heard, welcome DP Velmore, once you have been running that program and it has been reaping results, it's easier for you to now introduce the builders or the K-Kids.
Yeah. Thank you.
It does give you a foothold into the school. And while yes,
Okay, sorry.
Velmore, go ahead.
Right, thanks, DA Odens. I heard your welcome and thanks. I was on for a little while because I had made a previous comment as well. But I just wanted to come in just to support. Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to add something to what DLG Bev has just said, because on reflection, 23 East is now working on what we hope to be a national program on discipline and courtesy, and we're very close to launching. So we're
I've
supposed to
heard
be
of
going
it.
into the clubs. Right. Actually, I have you on the committee. Anyway, we're supposed to be going into clubs to start the sensitization. And what I'm thinking is we were thinking, of course, just starting with schools that we already have a foothold in. That is schools where our SLP programs are administered at both the K Kids and the Builders level. But now that the LGBEV has brought up this point, what perhaps would be a good thing as well is to encourage those clubs who don't have an SLP but who would like to jump on the discipline and courtesy bandwagon to actually use the terrific program to administer the discipline and courtesy. But I will speak to you, DLG Bev, but just because you mentioned it, I think is an excellent idea.
And I do agree with you, DP Velmore, because when you look at the acronym for Terrific Kids, it really helps.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Being thoughtful, being enthusiastic, being respectful. And also being inclusive, because in Jamaica, we only have a little window within which we look at inclusiveness. And it is broader and takes in quite a lot of other areas and issues. And if we can get our students to be terrific kids, then there will be more tolerance and possibly a reduction in the level of bullyism that we're seeing in our schools today. So thank you for that, DP Belmore.
You're welcome. Thank you too.
I think it's going to be a big program. Very good.
I hear somebody else saying
They were saying that this is going to be a big program, and boy, if you can really pull it off, it would be great for the schools.
You're right. DP Jennifer.
This is DP Jennifer Day.
Yeah.
Many years ago, we used to, the Kiwanis Club of Greater Portmore used to have terrific kids at entry, even before we had K Kids at entry. What I used to do, I had we had a lot of terrific kids sticker, and we used to stick them on their uniforms. So they wear that sticker with pride.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay,
that's what we used to do.
I think next on our program is roles and functions of Kiwanis and faculty advisors, which should have been done by D.A. Christopher. I'd like a Kiwanian advisor to tell me what they think their role and function is as an advisor. Remember, we're going to be very interactive today.
Yes, dear audience. What I think the role of the Kiwanis advisor is to guide your club, your SLP club, guide them through the process of the SLP, let them go through what Kiwanis International has there and to see what are the activities and the projects and stuff like that, little things that they can do. They don't have to go outside. It can be within the school, like helping a student, assisting principal office, tidying principal office. If you go there and you see something needs to be put in place, you can gather your members and you can do a little good deed. And we get them to do little things, little activities, and sometimes Kiwanis International have some little competition sections where they can enter. So we are there to guide them along that path. That is
And
what I think.
you're speaking as a Kiwanis advisor.
Yes.
All right. LG Stefan, I see you have joined us. How are you?
Hi. Greetings, DA. Audience. I don't know if you can see me here.
Yes, I can see you very well.
Okay. Division 23 East is joining you online.
Actually?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Division 23 East is joining you online with our one advisors and our faculty advisors. So we are in person and we're tuning in for some of your presentation, and then we'll have some discussion here live.
Okay.
So we're happy to join you. Have Kiwanis advisors and faculty advisors.
All right. Did our friend Christopher send you his presentation?
He didn't, but I'm not sure. Let me check. You want me to do the presentation
on roles and functions of the Kiwanians and the faculty advisors?
Okay, all right. Well, if you give me 5 minutes, I can do some checks. I want to do some adjustments here, and then I'm sure if we have the presentation, I'll run through it. No problem.
Okay. But what we will do is, before I share what I have, I want to hear from those persons who are advisors what they think their roles and functions are.
Okay, well, the room is open, so anybody here can come up and say and speak to you.
Okay.
I can go ahead.
All right. I am seeing a lady right at the front there.
Follow them, man. Follow them.
Yes, man. She hiding her face. Can you tell us who you are? You're the faculty. I'm not hearing you. Probably you could go closer to where the microphone is.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nicole Jarrett. I'm the faculty advisor for Holy Trinity High School.
Hi, welcome. So, as the faculty advisor, what do you think your role and function is? Because guess what happens? Every year we do these training programs, and theoretically we speak to you, but then we need to know now what it is that you are getting from our theory. So tell us what it is that you think your role is. Kiwani and Thomas, please close your mic. Thank you. Go ahead, faculty advisor.
I'm on the meeting.
Thomas, please, thank you. Okay, go ahead, faculty advisor for Holy Trinity.
Okay, I'm saying I think that my role as a faculty advisor is to basically guide the students, follow the rules and the regulation of the Kiwanis, help to develop leadership skills in the students, and he said inclusiveness, also to acceptance of inclusiveness in the class.
So what do you think your role is where the Kiwanis Club is concerned and the Kiwanis advisor?
Repeat that question.
What do you think your role and function is where the club, the sponsoring Kiwanis Club and the Kiwanis advisor assigned to the school, where do you fall in that spectrum?
To bring awareness of the club to the school and the environment, to get try to collaborate with other schools in the areas. Maybe some schools are not a part of the Key Club, trying to introduce them to the club and all the benefits of having a Key Club in the schools.
Okay, and I'm gonna ask someone to close his mic. Yes, Stefan.
Your mic.
Open mic.
Thomas, close your mic, please.
Thomas, close your mic.
All right. Is there anyone else from 23 East in the room who wants to contribute and to help our faculty advisor from Holy Trinity? I never got your name. I'm so sorry.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Faculty Advisor Sandra Downer from Bridgeport High School Key Club.
Hey,
Let
my
me
neck
hope
of the
you
woods.
can hear me.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, my voice is not so well today, but anyway,
But we're hearing you very well.
right. Just to support my colleague from Holy Trinity, as a faculty advisor, I'm like the liaison person between our sponsor club and the Key Club. So we basically inform, keep up to date our sponsor club, so they know what is going on in our club, right?
Oh,
because
okay.
we are, and this involves, you know, our projects. If we are having any issues or challenges, how can they best get involved? Because we are governed by the Ministry of Education, are there any changes in terms of protocols or regulations? So they too can be guided as to how best to help the club. I am the motivation behind my club because there are times when they do get discouraged. So I'm the motivation behind the students to keep them going, to help them to see the importance and the relevance and significance of becoming involved in their community, giving back to their community in their own small way. So that is among one of the many functions that I play as a faculty advisor.
Thank you very much.
You are most welcome, ma'am.
Okay, is there any, or are there any other faculty advisors here who would want to share what they think their role and functions are? Or do we agree?
I agree with what you're saying. I would also like to add to what the fellow faculty advisors said. For me, it's developing that awareness of their potential as leaders. All right. And you know, I watch my PRO bloom in. You know, she even went ahead. We wanted to set up a WhatsApp group. And she didn't wait on us. She went, and this is a grade 5 student I'm talking about. And she did the WhatsApp group for us. She took the initiative as a leader and set up the WhatsApp group. And she, you know, passed on information that even we as the faculty advisors may forget. She kept the students informed. Now, it is also developing this awareness of community and the school. The little group I had working with, they were quite enthusiastic about what was happening in the school. When we wanted a project, they came up with an idea to, you know, we collect and we clean the bathrooms. They so wanted us to, you know, because the bathroom, boy bathroom and the girl bathroom were, you know, a sore point in our school. And they wanted to do that. You know, that was their initiative. They looked forward to going out, you know. So it's developing the awareness in our students, you know, as leaders and to let them understand that the community is not just the school, but it extends far beyond that into the community. Particularly, you know, we went to and we were a part of the painting of the Bustamante Children's Hospital. We went with Andwayne to do a beach cleanup. You know, and they are enthusiastic about playing their part. So this is just what we want to instill in them, the awareness of not just their small surrounding, but the surrounding, the wider surrounding. And that is one of the things that I enjoy doing most with these students. Thank you.
Thank you very much. DP Bev, I see your hand is raised.
Yes, thank you, dear audience. I'm happy to hear the faculty advisors speaking up, because I can tell you from experience that when you have a faculty advisor that is really working together with their sponsoring club and that Kiwanis advisor, you have the best SLP programs in that school. You know, the synergy is excellent because they are interested, and the principal becomes interested, and everything just works together for good. And so the faculty advisor, very, very important person in the school to liaise with the KAs and with their sponsoring club. And it would work like a dream. So I'm happy to hear those two faculty advisors speaking up about their role.
Okay. Thank you very much, DP Bev. Do we have any other faculty advisor on who could speak or who wants to speak about what their role is?
Okay, the audience, I don't know if you can hear me?
Yeah, man, I hear you. And I'm looking at what Chris sent me. And I see that you were prepared to speak at your thing on dashboard resources and tools.
Yeah, no, I can come on, because the way we would do it is, I find one of the best tools, and I'm going to speak of it from a key club perspective, but it will apply throughout with some modification. What I would do is go through the advisor guide.
Right.
The advisor guide is filled with information related to the role of advisor.
Okay, so let us just wrap up the experiences of these persons. We have listened to the faculty. So I would want to know here from the Kiwanian advisors who are now here. And I am going to call on DP Sandra Davis. DP Sandra, you're still here? You hearing me? Yes, I'm hearing you.
So why you choose me? Yes,
Because it's 6 schools you work with. So you should have some experience to talk about.
Yes. Well, I can say, yes, I am. Okay, my role with the schools, and Ms. Johnson just spoke to you about Harborview. The schools that I manage and I work with has been very tremendous. I've been doing it for the last 5 years. And I must say, my role with them, I help the young people, and the most recent, helping them in terms of developing as leaders. So as Ms. Johnson just alluded to, that these kids took initiative because they see our involvement. And I must also, for Harborview, we have EKPR, and I'm not too sure if Andway is still the advisor for that, for the co-sponsorship. But however, we work assiduously with these schools, especially my K kids. They are dear to my heart. Desto Bennett, Webster Memorial, and Branches of Divine, and Ealing Basic. We bring up the terrific kids with them. We have also done Webster. I must say, with Webster, those little kids, when you would not believe they are babies, because these kids have fundraised and raised $50,000 and donate to Cancer Society. You know, so I would love for us as key clubbers and as Kiwanians take a page off of these little ones' books, because they know how to lead. When you go into their meetings, you know, you just have to just sit and smile and be happy. And I'm sure other advisors, both staff and Kiwanian advisors, can attest to the leadership that we are bringing. So Kiwanis is in good hands. Our future for Kiwanis is bright,
because if we nurture and continue, which myself and New Kingston and JP Kingston, which I also am a part of, and those 6 clubs that we manage, we ensure that the persons who are part of these clubs, especially the K-Kids clubs and the Action Club, Promise Learning Center, you know, these kids are children with autism, but they do their little gardening, they do bottle drive and everything like that. Just got the new list of their new executives, so we're looking to do their induction and everything. So they're very, very excited in getting things done. And I feel very proud to be a Q&A advisor for these 6 schools. And as they call me, Auntie Sandra, I'm just a phone call away. No matter, they have never had a problem that I have never tried my utmost best with my club to ensure that take the stress off them and get it done. And I want to thank my ladies from New Kingston and JB Kingston, my other colleagues, and my Q&A family in general, who has supported me and helped me to build me as a better leader in helping me to pass on that to these little ones. And I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Before LG Stefan does his presentation, though, any other Kiwanis advisor here? I see Jennifer Kessler from South St. Catherine. Jennifer?
Hi there, audience.
Can you share what you think your role and functions are as it relates to being a Kiwanis advisor for South St. Catherine?
Sure. Well, it's really to guide the in the way they are to conduct their meetings, their projects, overall how they are to conduct themselves as a club. And we're going to act to assist the faculty advisor as well. So I'm like the mediator between our club, South St. Catherine, and the SLP clubs via the faculty advisor. And it's really to guide and encourage them as well, and to sometimes be a part of what they're doing so they can become better leaders. Not here in the day, audience. You're muted.
In essence, then, DP Jennifer, you
Yes.
are like the glue.
Right.
That holds
them together. Right.
the school and the club together.
Right.
And you work closely with the faculty advisor.
Definitely.
Okay, thank you.
You're
DP,
welcome.
LG Stefan, your time.
All right. Oh, I don't know. Are you hearing me properly? Are you hearing me properly? Oh. All right. I think you can see me. Are you hearing me properly?
Yes, we're hearing.
We're hearing you.
Yes, Chair.
Okay.
Yes, I'm hearing. Yes, we're hearing clearly.
Okay, excellent. Good morning, everybody. And through the power of technology, we are, in many different places doing the same thing. So I congratulate everybody on showing up, both online and in person. Today didn't happen by accident. You chose that you're blocking out the time, and we respect your time as valuable, and we want to get through as much as we can in the shortest possible time. Let me apologize for DA Chris. I'm sure he is unavoidably absent. Today is a very important day for him, because while we have our advisors here, which possibly number about 15, 20 in person, one of the reasons we want to have advisors in person is that, a stone's throw away on the compound, Key Club is having their officer training of about 60 to 70 persons as well. So we wanted to be here, not only to talk about things among ourselves, but we are going to spend time, during the lunchtime, we'll be interacting with them so they understand, a group of adults are here to support what is happening in the Kiwanis SLP programs. Okay. No, I just checking if I'm co-host. Yes, I am. Okay, what I'll do is I'm gonna go through the the Key Club Advisor Guide, right? Now, first, let me start by asking, is everybody familiar with the advisor guides that are available and the resources that are available for Kiwanians and advisors? In-house, you can raise your hand if you are familiar. And if you're not familiar, there's nothing wrong with that, because what we are here to do is to learn and get more people up to date, right? With more information. What about online? Can we raise hands if you are able to, if you know about the Key Club, Builders Club, that sort of thing, those resources available? Okay, I see a few hands raised, but what I've done for this seminar is I have pointed a link. Is everybody seeing a link in the chat? You can open your mic.
I'm seeing the link.
Okay, great. So what we want to do is, and in person, there's on the sheet, there's a code. If you use your phone and scan it, it takes it to the exact same page. All right. So what that will do is, it's just very, very simple sheet with a couple of very useful links. One is called the Key Club Guidebook. Okay. So if you click on that link, it will download the Key Club Guidebook. Now, this book is a huge book with all the different aspects. So it talks about the bylaws and policies of the board. It talks about the awards programs. These awards programs apply both to the district and international, right? So, it's the same awards. It also has, I believe the forms might be in there, I'm not sure. So it's a lot of information in the book about Key Club. The version I found online was 2019. I'm not sure if there's a new version, but let me tell you, this document here is pretty comprehensive, right? Okay, the next link is to our president's training video that was done by the district, the Key Club district. Now, I'm encouraging advisors to understand what the roles of the officers are. So if you go to the link and your time, you can always, just put on the YouTube while you're driving to work, and you can just kind of get yourself familiar. Nothing heavy, just to understand what they do. All right, the next link that I have here. Everybody following, by the way? Everybody following the link? All right, okay. I just want to make sure that, and you can open your mic and tell me if you're having any trouble, because we want to make sure everybody knows where to get information. I think that's very, very, very important, right? Because there's no way we're going to cover all the information here. But what we want to do is to sensitize you that, one, there's a lot of Kiwanis support available if you ask for it. And two, any issues we have collectively, we can discuss them. All right. So other than that, a lot of the information is available online, but we're going to go through in a whirlwind tour, the advisor guide, which will give us some of that information. All right, so the next link takes you to the membership dashboard.
Sorry, point of information.
Yes, go ahead.
So I do apologize. but we're not, well, I'm not seeing the link and several other members are not seeing the links in the chat. I was just wondering if it could be reshared, please. Or if at the end, maybe a document with the links could be shared. All the links. Please.
Are you hearing me? Hello? Am I online? No.
Yes, you were all on.
Okay. No, I just put the link back again. I don't know if you saw it. In the chat? Are you seeing the chat?
Yes, the link is in the chat, LG Stefan.
Okay, great. All right, so very quickly, the next link, and I'm going to show you, it takes you to the membership dashboard. Right? So if you click on that, it's supposed to take you to, all right, so hold on. My own is the Lieutenant Governor's dashboard, but I'm going to log on to our school.
LG Steph, not to interrupt, but if you'd permit me, I would just want to say very quickly that for those persons who are Kiwanian advisors or staff advisors to builders and K-Kids, there are, while you're using the Key Club one as an example, please know that there are similar sets of links for those specific programs as well.
Right. So, right. So some of these are an example. I think DPVEL, the last guide here is the Builders Club Advisor Guide. Okay. So the point is the Builders Club Advisor Guide, you click this one and you'll get the advisor guide. But the truth is, if you just go into Builders Club resources, you know, you'll get a wealth of information from Kiwanis International. But these are some of the most important ones, which is the advisor guide that we come into, the Key Club guidebook, which is a general guide, all right, and Builders Club guide. Okay, but I want to speak for a minute about the dashboard. Everybody is seeing the dashboard on the screen? Everybody seeing?
Yes, we are.
Everybody is familiar with this dashboard? Okay, because all the advisors are supposed to have access to the dashboard. So what it gives you access to the membership center for your club. I don't know why maybe my connection is bad, but this is what it should look like. So every advisor, both Kiwanis advisor and faculty advisor should be able to have access to this resource, right? And if you do not, then you go to well, it looks like they've added members because according to this, they're over 1,000 US in dues. That means they have. Oh, I know Mr. Humber is sending out all of that as well. But the point is, everyone who is an advisor is supposed to have access. If you don't have access, you need to email member services of Kiwanis International, and they can update your login. Now, if they already...
LG, can I just ask you something right on this point here?
Yes, go ahead.
The dashboard, when you go on, you're only going to be privy to the schools that you are the advisor for, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make it clear that I understand it too. So you'll just see your schools that you are advisor for.
Right.
Okay.
And right away, it tells you who has access. So in Key Club, the president, the club secretary, the treasurer, the faculty advisor, and the Kiwanis advisor, right? They're the ones with the access. Okay, and they tell you in Action Club and Circle K who has the access. So that's going to be an important resource. If you don't have access, you can speak to somebody or you can email member services of Kiwanis International and I'll get that set up for you. Everybody okay with that? Anybody not okay with that? Let me know. Yes. We have a question here. Yeah.
as it relates to the Kiwanian advisors, if you are a member of a club and you're a Kiwanian advisor, when you log in as in your own dashboard, because every member has a dashboard. So when you're logging in as you'll have a drop down which will show you the club that you are a Kiwanian advisor. So instead of selecting your New Kingston that you're a member of, or JFB, any club, you will select the club that you are the advisor for. And then that will bring up the dashboard, will show you the opportunity of the reporting mechanism that needs to be done by each Kiwanian advisor. And it's similar for the staff advisor too. When they log in, even though they're not Kiwanian, but when they log in, they will see the name of the school that comes up. And that is how they especially for the builders and K-Kids, to generate your invoice. When you get the list of the officers and the members of the club, you go in and you input in the information. If the advisor has changed, that I'm referring to the Kiwanian advisor now. If the information has changed, then you go in and you put on the new, you send an email to member services advising them of who the new advisor is, and then they will you'll have two options so that you can receive the package, so that you can do the chat ceremony. One has the school address, if you wish for it to remain as is to send, or you want it to be sent to you, the Kiwanian advisor, then you put in that, you select that option and put in that information. It also asks you for the number of students that are part of the club. So you put that in, and then Kiwanis will generate an invoice. And that is what you'll see on your dashboard. And then the club secretary and the president will be able to access it so that the payments can be made.
Right. Okay, so I thank DP Sandra for that. So what I'm trying to do here is to just hit all the components, right? It's very, very deep. And if there is something special, like a special Zoom that we need to do to go through the dashboard separately, you can let us know and we'll do that, right? Because it sounds like, that's fine, but it sounds, no man, if we're not clear, we can always set up a separate Zoom and we can go through in detail how to generate that invoice. And I think it's important because, somehow the Kiwanians have to get involved and make the payments and all of that. So, it's part of the process that just needs to be done, all right?
LG Stefan, before you continue, are you speaking about that invoice for the additional resource materials from KI?
No, this is the invoice to be generated for the Kiwanis clubs to pay for the members. All right. In the club,
Okay, I know, I understand what you're talking about. On the secretary's dashboard, there are invoices for both district and AI for the club dues. And then below that, we also have invoices for every SLP club that is chartered and maintained by the sponsoring club. But this year, they have also sent you the opportunity to order additional resources. And that comes at a cost of, I think, $100 and something. So if you go in and you update the number of persons within your club, where the things are to be sent, then you will also see the opportunity to generate that invoice as well. It's there for the builders and the K-Kids.
okay. All right. So, quick recap on that. There is a link that we sent, and under that link, you can go and get yourself on the dashboard. From there, you can do the generating of invoices, and that link is valid for all members of all advisors. So Kiwanian advisors, Builders Club advisors, that's faculty advisors, K Kids, anyone, just click on that link and you'll go right through, all right? And like I said, there are persons here, obviously, who know how to navigate. So if you need to navigate a little more, just reach out and we can sort that out, all right? And I'm sure that's the same thing in Division 23 West. All right. Okay, so these are some guides, or these are some messages from the governor, etc. Because we're doing a simultaneous training. But what I'll do right now is I'll go through the Key Club Advisor Guide very, very quickly. It's a big document. Dear audience, can you say if Chris will join us to do the reporting side of things? Because I think I have him here for reporting.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think his internet has really messed up. And so if you're able to do the reporting, it would be good. Because what has happened is our faculty advisors are not doing the monthly reports, neither are they doing the annual reports. And what it has done is it has caused our clubs not to be benefiting from necessary recognition internationally.
All right, so let's spend a minute on that. Because in terms of the reporting of the faculty and the faculty advisors, there's a separate report from the club report that needs to be done. Or this is for Builders Club you're talking about. We just want to be clear what level we're talking about as well.
Reporting for all of the SLP clubs.
Okay, you want to go through what is expected. I know you'd be much more familiar at the Builders Club level. So, but
all right, I can speak to that in a few sentences.
Yes.
What our advisors.
Before you do that, I just wanted to show people that if you're looking at the dashboard here, you should be seeing monthly reports section. Okay, so if you click on your dashboard, you'd see monthly reports, and it looks like they haven't filled out their monthly reports yet.
It's the same thing with Builders and K Kids.
Right, but what you are saying is that the Builders and K Kids level, it is the advisor who fills that out.
Yes.
Okay, at the Key Club level, it is the clubs that fill it out. So that we have made that distinction. So on the same dashboard, DA, what we are saying is you will see, because I'm not a Builders advisor, that's why my dashboard looks a little different. You will come up with a monthly report that the advisors are expected to fill out, correct?
Yes.
Okay, got you. So I hand over to you for a few moments just to talk about the frequency and that sort of thing, and then we'll come back and go through the advisor guide.
All right.
I'm so sorry, but I know this morning is for us to really get some good understanding, and it's happening. So just before you go further, dear audience, I had my hand up, but I'll take it down. Where the Key Clubs are concerned in terms of their billing, they do get their own billing as a Key Club, right?
Yes, they do.
So they have to pay.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So the advisor for a Key Club can log on to their Key Club and generate a billing also?
Yes. So okay, so let me talk about the Key Club ones, okay?
Yeah.
Generally, Mr. Humber does a lot of the management himself of the membership center. There are some clubs that he knows can handle it, and they will handle it, but for the most part, for those invoices to be generated, DA Humber asks that when you provide your dues, you provide a list of the members, right? And what he will go in is and ensure, he'll go in the dashboard and ensure that your membership list matches with with the dues list that you have sent. Okay. So the clubs can make it easier for DA by doing the updates themselves, but he is the one who is going to regenerate to ensure that the funds he has in hand and the list he has in hand match what is on the dashboard. I have two questions here in person, but DG Bev, I don't know if you're finished with your point.
Yes, I'll work it out. You gave me a broad thing, but I can work out the rest. Thank you so much.
All right, we have two questions here. We have DP Audrey. Yeah, you have to come forward. You have to come forward.
It's not really a question, LG. It's just to share that. Remember that Key Club has their district here.
Yeah.
So the payments are done to the local accounts and then be able to upload to Kiwanis International matching stuff.
Right. Okay. All right. No other question. All right, great. Oh, one more. Go ahead. Come in. You have to come forward. Oh, yeah, then let me hear you.
The other had mentioned that the business club and the paid club. But what I noticed on the dashboard is that one of the staff here is going to be the or here in Jamaica holidays. We did not have anything to report.
Not hearing Sandra.
LG Stefan, we're not
Okay,
hearing.
What she's saying is that the builders and key kids report start in August because they follow the US system. We have nothing to report in August because our schools haven't started yet. So just bear in mind that the August reports normally would be blank. And the audience, is that okay? I don't want us to be losing points for something that we have no control.
No. If you probably have a community club, then they would be meeting probably and have something to report. But for the annual report that you submit, it does not require 12 reports. I'm not sure how many, but you are able to find based on the September to June, July year, enough reports to send in for your annual report if you are going after any of the awards.
Okay, so okay, so you are talking about the annual report. I think we're fine with that.
Yeah, but I'm also talking about the
monthly
reports.
Okay, so let me hand over to you for a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes, to have the discussion about monthly reports. I'm sorry, about reporting. All right.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes, we're seeing the screen here.
Okay, so as DP Sandra says, it starts in August. So you don't have anything to report for August. You don't have anything to report. But then you have September and you have October. So once the same login process that you showed us with Key Club applies here, and that we have heard before, once you're registered on the KI website, when you log in, it tells you which school. So if you have 4 SLPs, you choose which one from the drop-down box. And these are the reports. So for September, not started. So you press go. And it tells you, this is for Helsha Heights builders. In the past 30 days, estimate how many hours your club has participated in the activities mentioned. Did you collaborate with any other Kiwanis club? In the past 30 days, did you participate in any of the following service areas? Now it suits you to look at the report to see what it is that they're asking you to report on. So you can also do projects that you can report on. This one asks, did you pick up any trash? Did you plant any flowers? Did you raise funds to donate to cause like supplies, giving directly to an organization? We have heard where clubs have raised $50,000. I can speak to Helsha Heights Builders. They raised $14,000 from a walkathon, just walking in their community. And they had planned on using it to purchase pillows and sheets for a young lady in high school who needs the items. So you would put that there. And then in the past 30 days, which service needs did you focus on? And you go down and you go down and you fill it out and you press submit. You do that every month. At the end of the year, when you go on the SLP dashboard, whether it be Builders or K-Kids, it gives you a link to do your annual report. What it means, though, is that you need to keep accurate records of your projects, and you must have pictorials of your projects, because it's going to ask you to upload pictures to verify the projects that you have spoken about. Ever since I have been DA, I have been asking our advisors to log on to the website, go into the reports, do your education. Did you do your Builders Club 101? Did you do your Builders Club 201? Mine is not so good. It says in progress. But then I go to all the webinars and updates that they have for us advisors. So do we understand what it is that LG, Stefan, and myself have been speaking about regarding the report?
Okay, so DA, you jumped over to the online education for a moment there.
I came out of monthly and went monthly report and went into education, because once you have access to the dashboard, you're gonna see the education right above.
Okay, great.
So you can click on it, and you can do any of these. This I need to continue. This I need to start.
Okay, hold on. I'm not seeing your. I don't think you start. Okay, yes. What you need? No.
So these are some of the things that are on the dashboard.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I come out and yield to you now.
Okay, thank you. So I just wanted to emphasize that, yes, so there are two things on the dashboard then. The first one is the membership center, which you're expected to maintain. Three things. The membership center that you're expected to maintain. The second thing is the reporting that at the Builders Club level, you're expected to get.
The first one.
You're expected to get those reports done. And then the other thing that's on the dashboard is training, right? So there's online training that you can do in different activities. So, you can look at the dashboard and you get all that information. I see somebody has a hand raised, President Jonathan. President Jonathan, you have a hand raised?
All right, morning. Thank you so much. My hand has been up for quite some time now, so thanks for finally acknowledging it. I'm from the Kiwanis Club of Division 25 Online Jamaica. I'm also the club advisor for the Key Club of Rhodesall High School. We had our charter on June. Trying to remember the date. It was June 22nd, right? That's right before we went off on our summer break. So we really didn't do anything much after the charter. But having returned to school now, the Key Club, they're active. They're having meetings. They just completed a fundraising project and they're in the planning stages of a second one. Now, in terms of, so I just wanted to give that update, to show that, we're a new club. We don't know much, but we're doing things. It's been informative so far, especially with the reporting. And I've been able to go on and see the I mean the same things you're seeing, especially with the members of the Key Club, because that's the part I'm going to touch on now. I received, and as the club advisor, I suppose, an email from DA Christopher advising that the club dues are overdue. And the email specified that it's $1,650 per member, and that we should make payment for 35 members. We only have 17 members in our club, so that part was a little puzzling. The club members have started to, started dialogue or conversation about that, seeing that they just have 17 members, and if they should make payment for 35 members, which they don't have, it's gonna be in excess of $50,000. So can you please advise me, about that, so that I can go back to them, sounding a little bit more informed about what really is going on? Why is it that we have 17 members, but we are being billed for 35 members?
Okay, it would mean that he's looking at your previous dashboard. So it means something on the dashboard would have advised him that you had previously had the 35, and without new information as to the number of members this year, he was basing it on that. So if you have the 35 and if you have the cash for 35, I would suggest you hand that, you send it to the district and send in the proof of payment with the names, right? So he can do the update and modification. That's fine. No, I would say this because I think clubs in general are waiting till they have every dollar to make a submission, right? What I do is by the 20th of September, the first batch is gone off to Mr. Humble, right? Whether it's 1, 10, 5, usually I try to get over a dozen, so that, well, actually, I try to get 15. If I get the first 15 by the 20th of September, I send it off. And you can send off more in whatever sensible batches you want to after that. So you don't have to wait until the last member has paid or there's a gap or anything to make that payment, all right? And
G, sorry, he said his membership is 17. And he's being billed, they're saying he must pay for 35.
What Mr. Humber is probably looking at is what was on the dashboard in the last period. So what the number of members chartered were. So if that number has changed.
I didn't want to interrupt, but okay, because you said that before, and I'm happy. I didn't quite see on my screen who made that comment for me, but thank you, because you're speculating as to what DA Humber might have seen or not, but you haven't asked me. I'm right here. We never put up anything for 35 members. We haven't had 35 members. But yeah, I'm just asking to be advised. So we don't have 35 members and we've never had 35.
May I say something?
But what I'm asking is...
President Jonathan, may I say something?
Sure.
Okay, I myself got the same email. My club got the same email with the same 30 odd members. And what we are going to be doing is looking at how many members we currently have in our Key Club and advising Key Club District that we have X and that it's the X that we're going to be paid for. I think that is what LG Stefan is trying to say, and he did say so. If you have 17, you make the payment for the 17, and in sending the information to the district, you indicate to the district by a listing of the 17 persons, the 17 names, these are the persons we have now in our Key Club.
Right, so what I would say is, President Jonathan, if all else fails, first check your SLP chair for Division 25. Then you can check with Mr. Humber directly. But I can tell you this, right? Mr. Humber copies me on every single email that goes out with regards to dues outstanding. And I have 50 emails from Mr. Humber that went out individually to clubs requesting dues. So the idea really is to nudge the different clubs, to report to him what the membership situation is now and make the payments for the members you have now. I would not panic if Mr. Humber has whatever reason Mr. Humber had 35. The point is for you to update the district with the number of members you have now, and then we move forward from there. All right.
All right. Thanks for that. But one last question. Because you made when you were demonstrating a while ago on your screen with the membership thing, how about if my club went on and because I think you were also suggesting that we could generate our own invoice. How about if we went on, added the members, and I haven't interacted much with the on the platform, so I'm not sure how it works. So if we should go on, add the members' names and that kind of thing, is an invoice then automatically generated, and then we work from that?
Yes.
And then we make the payment to Scotia and send the proof, emailing the proof to DA Christopher. Does that work?
You got it.
Okay. All right.
Sorry. And you also send the list of member names, because one of the things he's going to do is double check your dashboard with that list.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That clarifies it. Thank you so much.
All right. Now, let me make one other point to the Kiwanians here. Not the Kiwanis, the faculty advisors, but the Kiwanians. What KI did was they removed all Kiwanians from the dashboard who did not have a background check. So if you don't have a background check, you cannot log in as a Kiwanian. All right, so be very clear on that. All right, so we have a section on youth protection later. I'm not going to supersede what is going to happen, but I just wanted to make that point that, and I will tell you, there are some clubs with one member who has a background check. And what they have had to do is that member is now the SLP advisor for every single SLP club that they have, because or else they would not be able to log on to the dashboard. So let me make a special appeal to the Kiwanians. Get your background checks so that you can log on to the dashboard and be a part of what is going on. All right? We clear? All right, I think we're going to have a session on that before the end of today. So I'm going to move on from that. But I see 2 hands raised, and I can tell you, President Jonathan got a lot of time, and we don't have as much time to take the questions, but I will take them very quickly. Go ahead, Denise.
Good morning. So I'm the faculty advisor for St. Jago. I'm new. In fact, it's my 2nd year. But I'm a member of the Kiwanis Club of Young Professionals, St. Catherine. When I go on the dashboard that you spoke of earlier,
yes.
I'm not seeing advisor there. So I want to know what's the process to get onto
okay. Right. So if you're not seeing a login for advisor, you need to send an email to member services. So if you look up email Kiwani's member services, I don't have the email address on me.
Oh, I found it. Okay.
It's widely known. And let me say this about Kiwani's International for everybody here. If you have a problem, for example, your school didn't get your pins, you didn't get your certificates for the members, whatever it is, you need an extra advisor guide, whatever it is. If you call them, all right, and let me tell you how I call them, all right? I call them using Skype, because with Skype, you can call the 1-800 numbers. All right? So it's free. You can also call them at their international number if you want. But once you call Kiwanis International in the daytime and you tell them what your problem is, I can guarantee, okay, that within 3 weeks, whatever it is that hasn't been delivered to you, they have already shipped it out and it's either on its way to you, in my case, in 3 weeks, and it ends up back at Campion College. So
while LG Stefan comes back on with us, Kiwanis International closes at 4 o'clock, which is 3 o'clock our time. So try to call them by 3 o'clock.
I suggest call them in your lunchtime, right? And they will answer, I promise you, and they will send you more than whatever you need. Happen multiple times that pins and membership cards get lost, DHL lose them, this, that. Just if you call them, they'll print them over and send them back again. Promise you. All right? Damian.
Yes, good morning. Thank you so much. So my question is one that may stir up a little trouble, but as it pertains to the background checks, which I'm assuming is a police record, correct?
No, background check is Kiwanis International Service Leadership Program check that is done through a company called Safe Hiring Solutions in the US. The background check for Kiwanians is $35 US. And if you look up background check, I should put it on the website. Let me put it on the website later today. But if you look up background checks, Kiwanis, it will come up and you can go in and request a background check. Other than that, you can also speak to your I don't know what division you're in, but you can also speak to your lieutenant governor and they will put you on to DLG Bev. DLG Bev spoke earlier, and she is the youth protection manager for the district. So we have excellent resources available. Every Kiwanian should be able to get a background check. It's very easy. The process is very easy. And you know, it's by the way, and because it's a background check, it's a fairly secretive process. So once you submit your name and the information that they want, your ID, they're not contacting you, not, right? Usually, because of how emails work and spam and that sort of thing, I just call DLG Bev and she'll look up my background check after about 2-3 weeks and say, yes, it was approved, and she'll email it back to me. All right. Somehow it always ends up in spam and I can't find it. But if I email her, I always get it. Background check is valid for 2 years. And just to say that it includes communication that they have had with our Jamaica police background check records people, right? And there is even a story DA Chris told me of someone who was going to convention, went to the embassy, and they had made a mistake on their form. And they pointed it out to the interview and they said, no, don't worry. We have your background check already. So we have everything on you. So just realize that there are uses for the background check. And I won't even go into more detail on that because we'll have some information on that later, all right? And I apologize. I know you guys are being inundated with many different things simultaneously if you're new, but we're just trying to make you aware very quickly of the breadth of what we have to do. Again, we are here to support. So please don't believe that you're here alone. And also from the number of persons, I see 62 online and I have about 20 or 30 who have been here. You know, so we are all in this thing together. That's the point I wanted to make. I hope that answers your question, Damian, because I really need to move on.
Yes,
so
thank you so much. And sorry for taking up time, but thank you.
That's fine. And by the way, folks, I'm going to present information here just in the advisor guide that is available to everybody with the resources that we just spoke about. But one of the things we want to do, both online and in person, is we want to talk about those issues. So the questions are very, very important because the information in the advisor guides and all the online, it's always there. But the questions you might need to ask or the contacts you might need to make, ask us now, and we can get those contacts to you to make sure that you're having an easier time, because we know, you know, it's a lot to deal with. We're going to go through very quickly the Key Club year, and you know it happens really, really quickly, as you will see. All right. Okay. So I'm going
May I ask
to
a simple question quickly, please?
If you
Hello.
promise it's a simple question, go ahead.
Short question. It's just that with what's happening in our school system now, and we are trying to officialize our club. So I'm just wondering if it's possible for us attending this training session can be given a certificate or something to say that, you know, we were trained or we attended this. I just want to know that. Because, you know, then ministry require you to put everything on your file these days.
Okay.
I think we can talk about that, LG.
So LG Runit would have sent out a registration. LG Runit, I'm sure you're keeping a registration there.
I didn't. Hi, LG Stefan. I didn't send a registration, but what I'll ask members to do, if you could just rename your device with your title or the school that you're representing, and we will make note of it.
Okay, great. What we did here, right, is we sent out a Google form. So a quick raise of hands. Everybody filled out the Google form? Or I should do it the other way, really, because anybody who did not fill out the Google form.
I tried to log on and I didn't I wasn't able to register, so I didn't do it.
Okay. All right, but in person here we have what, 2 persons? All right, well, what I will need is if you can get their names. Because what we're going to do is use the Google form as our registration here. All right, and so we'll keep in contact that way. Right. Esmeline, DP Esmeline, this is the last question before I dive into the presentation real quick. DP Esmeline, go ahead. Or was that the question? Was that DP Esmeline? I don't know. DP, I see your hand raised. Are you hearing me? Am I online? No, I'm not. Anybody hearing me online? Over.
I'm hearing.
Okay. DP Esmeline, last chance. Going,
You
and
can go
gone.
ahead, LG.
I'm going to go ahead, yes. You can lower her hand for me. All right. So again, good morning. And again, apologize for DH Chris. What I'm going to do for our advisors here, I'm going to walk us through the advisor guide. Everybody knows it's available and you can have one for yourself. These are available in print also. So if you write to KI, or if you call, they'll send an advisor guide. All right. If we have enough people here, I could ask that they send one package. It really doesn't make sense for them to send one, so they could send that dozen, and then we do some distribution. Everybody wants a hard copy, or we're okay without it. All right. So I'll ask for a few, and then we can move from there. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go through the advisor guide. Here we have the motto and mission, core values, the pledge, and the objects. Now, these are things that your Kiwanians. Oh, well, you can get your phone. And the email. It includes the objects and the pledge, okay, and the motto, and these are things that the Key Clubbers should know. Similarly for builders, there's objects, pledge, and motto. All right. Okay. So under the advisor guide, you have different things started. Getting your club started, the monthly checklist, advisor roles, and support to key club advisors. Okay, so let's go through as quickly as we can. All right, I think we already spoke about the tools available for you, which is this guide. They say they have an e-learning advisor education. So when you log into the dashboard, we already spoke that there's an education section, and you know they run through very, very deep all those aspects of advisor role that you can participate in. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go through the checklist, the monthly checklist. And I think this is important because, and it will apply to both Key Club and builders and K Kids, right? Because the cycle of SLP year is the same, right? September coming back to June. It's a little different from what's in the book because they start a month earlier, but some of the things relate the same. All right. So they are suggesting August, Kiwanis meeting. A good idea always is to plan to have your SLPs visit the Kiwanis club. Write to them, let them know you're coming, how many, so that they can make preparations. Reasonable? All right, at the key club level, they are also suggesting to plan for a board meeting. So one of the things I want to point out is that at the builders club level and the K Kids level, you are doing a lot more, call it a lot more of the work for them. You know, you are their guide, but you are also their principal work through. The key clubbers, okay, you have to remind them to invite you to the board meetings because they will have their board meetings long time. And then you get the notes and you say, why you never told me? I'm just even listening. But it is important, right, that those board meetings, I think board meetings at the SLP levels are very, very critical because how you run the key club meeting is one thing and how you run the builders club meeting, but the planning can't take place in those meetings. They must take place in the board meetings, right? So you need to have a meeting with the officers and go through, well, at the key club and CKI level, they will, you know, you'll help them to set up an agenda, which they will go through. At the younger level, you will kind of plan that meeting for them to show them this is what we need to do for the year. What I try to do with key clubbers is I demand actually that they give me a calendar for the whole year of all the things they plan to do. Okay, and I guess at the lower level, you know, advisors, I guess I'm demanding of you that you put together a calendar. It's very, very helpful. And what I recommend is that they share that calendar with the school principal. Why? The school principal will say to you, I see you have a fundraiser on the same day that the school has a fundraiser. One of us has to move. And so, you know, that's why you need to interact with the school with that calendar. All right. So that's an important tip in how to get the key club going. All right.
LG Stefan, would you like us to ask you the questions after, or can we just interject quickly? I just want to plug
go ahead.
All right, for fundraising, we have been told recently that, well, it came up some long time ago that some of the schools are not allowed to do fundraising because the government has forbidden that schools do fundraiser. Do you know, is that any truth to that?
All right, so dear Bev, that one I'm going to take after, because what is happening is there are situations that, you know, you have to dance between the raindrops. And in a case like Campion, where there are 70 clubs, okay, they only allow you one shot at the cherry, one fundraiser for the year, and you're done, because every other club has another Friday. So And there will be all kind of situations like that. So that's why the calendar is important. Reach out to your schools and they will guide you as to how that works. And by the way, Kiwanians, you heard what I just said, right? So what it means is that when your builders club, when your key club say that they're having a bake sale, it's not just a little bake sale. You have to give 200% support, because when they have that bake sale, then they may not be able to have another one for the year, right? Because the schools give other clubs a chance, and then the schools also, the schools have several fundraisers because their budget is extremely limited. All right, is that okay, DLG Bev? Can move on?
Yes, you can move on. Thanks.
Okay. So district fall events. So the district, Jamaica Key Club Jamaica district, we normally have events mainly in Key Club week. So the two big events would be Coastal Cleanup, which happens in September, and then the first full week of November. So I'm going to leave that there and then we move on. All right, they also talk here about planning for convention. Now, the reason they talk about that is if you need a visa, you need to start now. Can't start in March and get a visa for July. Don't work. All right. So start planning. And in terms of the funding, I can tell you, going to international convention is not cheap. I work it out as about 2,000 US without their spending money. This is with just basic food, accommodation, flight, and that sort of thing. All right. So just understand understand what kind of expense you're talking about. It is a worthwhile thing, but it is obvious that we're not going to all be able to go. All right. Okay. So in September, they talk about new members. Start of the school year with an ideal time to recruit. So every club, I'm talking builders, K-Kids, Key Club, Circle K2, they should be out there doing their recruitment, join Key Club, join builders to get the new members in. Now, one of the things you have to bear in mind is that, especially at the Key Club level, you are asking people to join, and then you're saying, by the way, I need $1,650 from you before October to pay the dues. So that's not an easy sell, right? So you have to help guide the Key Clubbers where that is concerned and help them to bring out those best qualities that will allow them to gain the membership and get the committed membership who's going to pay the dues. The other thing that has to happen is that those dues have to be sent off to the district. So there's a whole process for that, and we need to be aware of that. All right. Okay. They say here to set your service goals for the year. So what I try to do is when the new board is elected in February, and we'll come to that, and then their term starts in May. We try to go to the principal. Now, some of the principals disappear by May, June because GSAT results come out, PEP results come out, and they have to hide from parents because they get bombarded with transfer requests. So try and go and see the principals early with the Key Clubbers. Let them know this is the new Key Club leader, and these are the calendar of events for the year. It all makes sense? It's all kind of gelling now? All right. So in October, they are saying that there should be public relations. I think what we should do is by October, anything that we have done with something like Coastal Cleanup or your first project, you should do a press release and get it to the papers, right? So you try and say, new president, so and so, this is the thing that Builders Club is doing. And here they're also saying to plan a fundraiser. A big one is for Key Club is the UNICEF Trick or Treat. We don't do a lot of that out here, but there are some clubs that do it. Also in October is the Kiwanis one-day project. And here in the Key Club guide, they're saying ensure there's participation in that project. So our project is next week for Division 23 East is next week, Saturday at Hope Gardens. And we're taking the kids over to Funland and then by the band area. I know LG run it. You have something planned for Kiwanis one day you want to share? Am I being heard? Hi, DLG Bev. I see you're on, but I'm not hearing you. Hello?
What you said, LG?
No, I don't know if you lost me, but I was talking to Run It. I was talking to LG Run It to ask her if you wanted to say anything about her Kiwanis one day project. Because we're reading from the book here, and it says, you know, that the key clubbers should participate.
I am not seeing her.
Okay,
I'm
all right.
not sure if she dropped off, but what I know is that we have a divisional project at one of our basic schools here in Portmore. So all clubs and SLPs would be invited or expected to participate.
All right. Okay, and gone already now also is CKI week, which is our Circle Chaos. And this week is actually CKI week. So today they're doing some tree planting, right? So one of the things we are to do is to engage with Circle Chaos. Some of us had joint meetings with them. There's also Youth Protection Week, which was actually the week before. Upcoming in November is a big week for Key Club, which is Key Club Week. And what could happen is you could have joint projects and joint meetings with your builders and Circle K. But everybody's aware of Key Club Week. You can raise your hands and let me know if your clubs are planning an activity for Key Club Week, both your Kiwanis clubs and your Key clubs. In the chat, anybody raising hands? All right. So Key Club Week will start with the church service. I believe it's the 5th of November at the Holy Trinity Cathedral. But the week before that, and I believe that is actually on the 1st of November. No, they changed it. They changed it? Yeah. Yeah, they changed it to the Wednesday. The Wednesday at Jamaica College is the Key Club Mass Rally. So just be aware that there is a change. And the Key Clubbers will know about it, so you should know about it too. Normally it's on the Friday, but unfortunately, JC is not available on the Friday. All right. Also in November, they're saying to start planning for district convention. All right. Anybody aware of district convention? All right. We'll get the details on that from DA Chris, but it's a good idea to start getting the students an understanding of what's going on. By the way, all this time, the projects that have been planned previously, right? You should be executing those. So the clubs should have their weekly meetings. The clubs should be doing projects mainly on the weekends, on Saturdays. And one of the things I would suggest is when you meet with the principal, you say to the principal, what can Key Club do for the school, right? Because one of the things you have to recognize, especially if you have leaders who need to leave the school early, and that's other thing, you need the favor of the principal. So, you know, I remember one time the principal asked for us to get some chairs repaired because they were desperately short on chairs. And, you know, the Key Clubbers, the parents actually took it on because it's a dual benefit, right? Here we are working with our Key Clubbers, everybody is getting service hours. They are doing a project for the school. So the school is benefiting. And guess what? Those Key Clubbers benefit from the same chairs. You know what I mean? So it's a win-win-win when you partner with the school and get those projects done like that. All right. So those projects should be going on. In December, there's a status report here to evaluate your club. Now, I think one of the things that should be happening, I don't see it here. Well, it's kind of here, right? Is that you ought to be looking because very, very quickly, you should be noticing who are the leaders, who are the people coming out as leaders in the club. Because what is going to happen in February is that you're going to have an election. Also, in March or April, the district convention is coming up. So those leaders who you think are exceptional and who have been doing exceptional work, you might want to say to them or say to the club leadership, you know, maybe the president or vice president, I think you're suitable for a district post. And you really need to present yourself in that way. Now, in preparing for that, you know, there's a campaign and all kind of things. So they will have to interclub, so people will have to know them and that sort of thing. But the point about by December, for me, it's really extracting leadership, seeing where those leaders are and how you can grow them, right? Either in the club or in the district. Bear in mind also, right, that the troublesome boy who always chatting his mouth in the back is a potential leader. All right, so look at the whole club and see who those people are who can become even greater, right? Because one of the main things that we want to do as well is to get them to be able to speak in public. Some of them are deathly shy of speaking in public, right? And we want to be able to get them to have that training. So we need to figure out how we're going to grow these people. And by December, you'd have a good idea of that. They're also saying here to talk about dues, understand how dues, where you are in the dues, if there's anybody else who will be added. And by the way, what you find, all right, is that you get a lot of sixth formers, all right, and a lot of fifth formers who have decided, gee whiz, now I need to put in my college application, or I need to put in my application to UE or wherever, and I don't have anything, you know, and now they want to jump on the bandwagon. Some of them even want to jump straight into the Key Club leadership, right? I would say you really don't have to worry about that, because the Key Club, in particular Key Club, they are not fooled. They know when somebody doesn't know about the club and doesn't understand what it is. And by election time, that will work itself out. But just be aware that very late in the game, you normally find some 6A and fifth form students jumping on, because now they need something to have on their resume, which you have been trying to tell them from first form, that, you know, come to Coastal Cleanup, let's get some great pictures of you. You need to put that on your social media profile and build up this nice resume of things. Not that you can write it on your resume anymore now, but things that have been built up over 2-3 years, showing how you have been involved in donations, leadership, conventions, you see, and I've shown you having a broad range of skills. Because what we are here to do is build leaders. And one of the ways that we build leaders is by encouraging them to build up their own personal brand, right? And that, you know, it's crazy important now, much more than it was when we were in school. So we have to help them and guide them to start early, to taking those photos, having a safe place where they build up their own portfolio, right? So, and it's just as important as a monthly report, okay? And, you know, I don't know how maybe in the Builders Club, in a safe way, that can be done, so that the leaders in the Builders Club, even from that early age, you know, I know of Builders Clubs, they have donated appliances to children's homes and stuff like that. Those need to be, even if they're not in the media, they need to be on some website and something later on, so we can have it that, you know, from 1990, these or whatever, from 2023, when they're in 2030, you know, these people have been in K Family, in leadership, and we show what's going on. All right. So I just wanted to think about that.
If I can interject, it is a good idea that our students start to keep a physical record of everything that they have gotten. If they got a cert, if they got a plaque, and reason is, once they have applied for those scholarships and entrance to the universities, they are asked to provide evidences of it. As a JP, I have had to sign off on the pictures and the certs to say that this is the copy of the original document, so that they're able to submit them along with their college applications. So they need to start keeping them.
Right. Okay. So I know it's a lot for us to do, right, to guide them, but this is part of the guidance. And what I find, right, and some of you are going to experience that, is that you are also going to be required to be a referee for these kids later on, when they are doing their scholarship applications, when they are doing their college application. All right. So just be aware that, you know, you are here as mentors and you're going to have some responsibilities like that. And normally it is my pleasure to write a great recommendation for a key clubber who has really shown themselves as exceptional. All right. Okay, district election, officer elections, I spoke about that already. January, they're saying to have a membership drive. Kind of tricky for us to do that at this point, because normally you would have already updated the membership center and all of that. All right. Okay, and again, they're talking about club officer elections coming up, which is in February. So by now, you should be speaking with the clubs, or the clubs should be speaking with each other, both Builders, K-Kids, and Key Club, about the upcoming elections, because what you would normally have before elections is nomination. And what normally happens is you have 50 people who want to nominate themselves for the positions, right? Everybody wants to be president, or everybody wants to be AST or whatever. So I encourage you to ensure that you start that process in January, because you're going to need to do some filtering out before elections in February, right? Okay.
LG, Stefan, one quick question, please.
Go ahead.
As it relates to member induction, how does that work in the Key Club? Does it have to be performed by a particular, like the LG or something? How does it work?
All right. So what you want to encourage, right, in all cases, is planning. So a good idea would be, the trick for us is that December is something in some schools that exam month, right? So some schools have exams in January and some schools have exams in December. But plan to have a member induction with, ideally, but not necessarily, the Key Club Lieutenant Governor there. Now you can also invite your Kiwanis, advisors, your Kiwanis clubs, and the Kiwanis district, the leadership. But key to it, right? They don't even want to see you, you know. What they want to see is their Key Club Lieutenant Governor, right? It's a good idea. It's not necessary. In other words, the president can do the induction ceremony, but it's a good idea to plan properly, give everybody notice, because to get to another club, the district officers will have to make arrangements with their advisors and schools. Some of them have to leave early to get to your location, right? So just bear all of that in mind. It's a good idea, but it's not absolutely necessary. All right.
Thank you.
All right. So Key Leader is a specific program that Key Club carries out. I'm not going to delve too much into it. I think the program brings down a Key Club trainer from the US. So there are certain major costs associated with that, and we typically don't do that here. And I'm going to move on. All right. So in February, that's when the club elections should take place. One of the key roles of the advisor is to make sure that there's a free and fair elections. What you find sometimes is that the older kids, especially those who have been in Key Club for a long time, will try to squeeze in their friends who weren't in Key Club for the whole time but now they want it on their resume that they are the treasurer for the club, right? So your job is very important and it's delicate because you are to referee without showing favoritism, but you need to point out instances where club officers are showing favoritism. All right. So presiding over those elections are very important. And it's not only going to be important for them, but I can tell you, if you have a student who lost and they believe that the elections was unfair, okay, now you're talking about how things can unravel because they're not going to you, they're going to the principal, right? And now they're going to ask you to explain what happened. So be aware that when these things are happening, please be present. Make sure that there's a transparent system. Some of them use online voting. All that is fine, but be sure that you're aware of it and that it happens in a transparent manner. If you can even record it, but it's not necessary. But I'm telling you, I've seen instances, I think even now the district is dealing with something where an officer believes that they're entitled to the position, right? And the truth about it is, especially with our SLPs, the only controller of what happens in a key club in a school is the principal. The principal, their school. We support a key club as long as the principal supports a key club, right? In some instances, the district administrators have also, from a Kiwanis point of view, had to point out what the ruling from the district is and why the officers are where they are. So I'm telling you all of that because what we want to do is avoid those situations. Maybe few and far between, but the truth is we now have in Key Club about 70 clubs. In Builders, DA, how many do you have?
About 72.
Right. So what I'm saying is that as we grow, there are going to be more instances. I don't know if you call it activism parenting, right? But you have instances where parents do not let up because their child is supposed to be the head of this thing or the best in the school, whatever it is. And you have to regulate those situations, right? All right. Officer training. Well, we are doing the officer training here right now. And congratulations to everybody here in person and online for being a part of that training. So also in February is a divisional meeting because what happens in Key Club is that the divisional, the lieutenant governor for that division is elected at their divisional rally. So that rally normally takes place in February. And so, you know, all the things associated with campaigning and all of that need to happen before that, obviously, so that when they come to the rally, they have already canvassed their electorates, all right? And what it means also is that that training that you want to give and guidance needs to happen from December, as we said, so that these people are preparing themselves to go and show themselves to other key clubs in January and be prepared to be a good candidate at the divisional rallies. They should also be preparing for district convention and convention contests. What I say to my key clubbers is I'm telling them from now, when we go on the bus to go to district convention, nobody is going on the bus unless the convention contest forms are filled out and we know who is participating in what. Even if you fail, I don't care, but you need to participate in rhetorical, which is the speech, essay writing, and talent, right? Those are the contests. They have more, but you have to encourage them from now to be a part of those contests, right? Also, there are the reports. Now, we're not going to go into the reports in detail, but you saw what those reports are. There's something called the Annual Achievement Report. What I tell the key clubbers to do, right, is using the same calendar that we spoke about in the beginning. Fill out what you want your achievement to report to look like at the end of the year. Because when you are competing to become a distinguished club, you want all those elements that the report is asking you for to be part of your calendar. All right. So you don't just blindly just fill out the calendar and you're finished. What you should be doing is filling out a template of what you want the report to look like at the end, knowing that each section has some points. So there's some points for if your advisor as well has been to your meetings. There are points for if you're Kiwanian, if you have visited a Kiwani's meeting, if you have done a joint project, all of that sort of things in the form. So you want them to fill out that form so they're fulfilling the mandate of becoming a distinguished club and then transferring that to your calendar. Overwhelmed? Don't be overwhelmed. Once you set up the system, it goes like clockwork, believe me. The hardest thing to do is to implement all those things. And I can tell you that it really depends on the cohort of individuals. Some years you get a great cohort that will take it and run with it and you have to catch them up. Other years, you say, what happened to the report? What happened to the calendar? We're not meeting with the principal. You understand what I mean? And everybody knows when you have a good cohort and when you have a cohort that's struggling. Your job is not to tell them, your job is to guide them. You need to do a little bit more of the telling on the Builders Club and the K-Kids level. So you're planning for them. But ultimately, when they reach high school, their destiny is up to them, right? All right. So we spoke about the voting and the voting process. And we spoke about the officer elections and the convention. Forms should be out. This is in February for convention in March or April. All right. And Kiwanians, you need to support the key clubbers to ensure they go to convention. One of the things I keep saying is that convention is a life-changing experience for both of you, because as a Kiwanian or as an advisor, it's really eye-opening to go to a convention and see how they mature over the course of 3 days. But for them, it's also completely transformational. And I say that in terms of how they interact, because in schools, they are one person, but here they are in a completely different environment and how they interact and present themselves, and they are accepted. So some of them may not even find their niche in terms of, you know, a group of students that are comfortable with that school. Some of them go to convention and find that. So just be aware of the transformative power of conventions. All right, so in March, normally it's a district convention, that's the big thing. Oh, sorry, I skipped over K-Kids Week. So in February, there's K-Kids Week. And what would normally happen is there would be a church service, and then there would be a number of activities that need to be planned in the K-Kids for that week. All right, so be aware of that planning so that you can build up to that. And then the similar thing is happening for builders in March, and also Action Club. All right, so now they're saying also that there's a spring mailing. I think our spring mailing usually arrives in April. It's usually a little late because of our mailing system. All right, but the big thing for March is convention. Normally, convention is March and April. And then after that, now the new set of key clubbers, because at the end of, I believe at the end of April, the term expires for both Circle K and Key Club. I'm not sure how the builders work the same way, DA. Am I being heard online?
Yes, in terms of what?
No, in terms of the cycle of the new cohort of leaders. Their Key Club year usually starts May 1. When does the Builders Club
Basically, same year.
Same thing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Just keep everybody together.
Basically, same year.
Now is that cycle is now starting to repeat itself. So now we go again and get the calendar of events and go and meet with the principals, right? And go and set out. The other thing we want to be doing is planning for international convention. Now, again, not everybody can go, but I can tell you, it's great, great experience for those who are able to go. All right. And what I'm hoping is that we can get more advisors, right? Because let me explain to you, when you have a group of 30 students, right? And I can tell you what happened last year. We were going to California with the group of 33. A key clubber, for whatever reason, we bought all the tickets together for the group, mainly, right? So, but one key clubber, for whatever reason, when he went to American Airlines, they checked him in as Mr. Humber, put through the bags, everything. So when Mr. Humber got to the airport after that, not long after, but after that, they said, you are already checked in. And then so they corrected all of that at Norman Manley, got everybody sorted out, right? Got the young man his boarding pass and everything. Then we went to Miami because we were going through Miami to California. When we get to Miami and all of us going through security, guess who they pull out of the line? Mr. Humber, right? And we only have 2 hours in it, right? And the line, but mind you, it always occurs at the 4th of July and the 5th, right? I think online you just lost me for a minute, but I'm back, right? So what happened was they pulled him out of the line. Now, Mr. Humber made all the travel arrangements for the bus when we reached California at midnight to get to the hotel. He has everybody's information. Again, now bear in mind there are about 4 adults. When you lose the head of delegation, starts to get jumpy. So I'm saying all of that to say that we need as many adults as possible, because when something happens, we'll have to pull together, and some go with some, and we have to decide how we split up. I'll give you one other example. When they were returning from Washington, I wasn't there. My son, who was in Key Club, they didn't allow him on the plane because they thought he was being trafficked. And I said, I don't understand how at 4 o'clock in Jamaica, because they're traveling early, I'm being told that he's being trafficked when he went up with the same group, right? And, you know, there's all of these cars because they went and saw Audrey Marks, our ambassador in Washington and all of that. So now Mr. Humber at 5 a.m. is trying to contact the ambassador to get them to release. And by the way, the group of 30 missed their flight. So now you have 30 kids on the same 4th of July weekend who need to get back. They split up the group in 4, right? And some are going through Dallas, some are going through Charlotte, some are going through, I don't remember where else. And and they're all meeting back in Miami, jump back on the plane. So I say that to say that as many advisors as we can, we need, because when stuff happens for nobody's fault, right? We need to have people, right? When there's illness, last year as well, for a brief time, I was ill. So, you know, that took me out of the equation. When there's illness, you know, you lose your people. So we need to have many, many, many hands to make it happen. One year they thought we were transporting a minor and they held him back. Fortunately, we were traveling with a permanent secretary who was able to make all the calls because her daughter was in Key Club. And they sorted that out real quick in Chicago. And I can tell you, in Chicago, they are very miserable. They don't want to hear from you. Not all they want to do is either put you on the plane or put you out. But they were able to listen to the permanent secretary and get us back all on the flight and all of that. So I just made that pitch and I'm going to just leave it at that, right? Because it gets very complicated when you're taking a group. And by the way, we're going to Atlanta this year, and I know it's going to be an even bigger group. I have a question in person. Go ahead. You probably need to come up so they can hear you. Okay. Yeah. Right. So one of the things I would say, right, is that to go to district convention, it really requires that there's a collaboration, international convention. It requires a lot of collaboration between the Kiwanis Club and the Key Club. Some schools have put on fundraisers for their Key Clubbers, but I can tell you, for the advisors, 2 advisors were sent by Glenmuir last year by the principal. So she paid for those advisors. So I believe there'll need to be a collaboration, which is a part contribution by the advisor themselves, a part contribution by the school, and a part contribution by the Kiwanis Club. Now we can only achieve that if we start to work now, right? So let's get our teams together to achieve that. Believe me, I think if you go once, you don't have to ask anybody to pay for your second time, because you know you're so smitten that you'll find a way to come again. And a lot of the advisors, what they do is incorporate a trip where they get off in Miami and they can go by their family, or they find other parts of the holiday that they can enjoy separately once the convention is over, right? But it requires a lot of collaboration because it is not cheap. What's that? July. The convention is July, normally the 4th of July weekend. All right. So in May, there's also for Key Club, the installation ceremony. I think it's a great idea for you to keep an installation ceremony, both for the school, because you get to highlight the principal and get a message from the principal and they feel good. And also they get to invite all the other clubs so that they come and interact with each other. One of the things Key Clubbers love is to have other Key Clubbers in the meeting. If it's just Meadowbrook, they don't feel good. But if you invite Queens and St. Andrew, and you invite Immaculate and JC and George's, now we're talking about something that they enjoy. So a good idea is to show them and help them plan an installation ceremony. And this can happen at the Builders Club level too. And what it will do is it will help them with event planning management. All right? Because one of the things you're doing is training. So all of that I spoke about with the calendar also applies with the budget. So obviously everything in the calendar requires budget support. So when you plan your calendar, you want to port that over to a budget that the members should be working on with your advice. We already spoke about July, which is convention month. I don't think there's much to talk about in June, because June is exam period, right? So all shuts down, everybody is in exams. Also in July, they're saying the Youth Opportunities Fund grant is opens. Now there have been several schools who have gotten up to $2,000 US from the Youth Opportunities Fund. So tied with that budget that we just spoke about is finding a major project that you can apply for the grant. They give out the grants. Make sure you know where that money is going to go, whether it's to your Kiwanis Club bank account or your Key Club bank account or the school's bank account. But make sure you're clear, because when they say you are awarded, you're going to write that check. All right?
LG Stefan, just to interject, that's from the Kiwanis Children's Fund.
That's from the Kiwanis Children's Fund. I think there's a Key Club Fund, Youth Opportunities Fund, I think is separate. It's from the Children's Fund, but run by Key Club. So it's really reviewed by the Key Club District Board, International Board. That's one of their first tasks, to pick up all the applications, review them, and award the money.
And all there is also a separate facility for Circle K as well.
And there's a separate facility for Circle K. So also now ongoing, they can partner. So the Youth Opportunities Fund grant the project for that. They are expected to partner, because one of the things they want to do is show that, hey, we are a part of the contribution. So a good thing to do would be to go to Social Development Commission, all the other foundations, and Kiwanis as well. What I'm saying is you want K Family and you want community partnership, right? Because that is a part of what they judge on. There are a number of presentations on the Youth Opportunities Fund. So I don't want to go into detail with that, but just bear in mind, again, overwhelming, that information is available for you to do the application. And I know of several schools who have gotten $500, $700, $2,000 US to carry out their projects, all right? The only thing I would say is that sometimes by the time that money reaches here, it's very late. So it reaches here probably November. So if you apply for it, now you have to put it through the bank. It's a US dollar check if they're not doing a transfer. That takes 60 days. So just bear in mind that the cycle of getting that money takes very long. Sometimes by the time you get that money cleared, it's now March, April, and it's a new administration who is able to use that. But that's where the advisors come in, because you are the continuity in the club, if you realize that. So that July now brings us back to August and September, which is the same things we just discussed before, right? So we went through a whirlwind tour of what happens in the calendar of events. So I didn't go through those specific things that you as an advisor need to do, but you can see from the checklist all the support that needs to happen. And I would say to the Kiwanians, you can see all the support that you need to give to the advisors as well as the clubs, because it's a lot. But it's a lot for a great cause, because it's a lot of growth that takes place, transformative growth that can take place with the key clubbers. So some of the things that should be ongoing are membership updates. We spoke about that before with the membership dashboard. We spoke about the key club events, that's the projects and all the divisional trainings. Just give me 1 second. District projects, the Kiwanis meetings that they should be attending. They should be having their weekly key club meetings, and of course, interclubs. Folks, that wraps up the training for the requirements, roles and responsibilities of advisors. The audience, I'm going to hand it back to you. We have our district governor. District governor, you want to come and say hi online? Well, what 60 advisors online being trained.
Good to have you, district governor.
A lot. Hands up those who are overwhelmed. I'm overwhelmed just giving the information, and I really apologize for bombarding you with all the information. But as you can tell, we don't have a lot of time, and you know, I wanted to get that information across. The audience, I'm going to hand back over to you.
Okay, thank you. Is DP Bev still here? I'm not seeing her. Not you, Bev. All right, thank you. I'm just gonna do a little update for the builders and the K Kids, because LG Stefan has done quite a bit on us as well. There are some global projects that the builders and the K Kids are asked to participate in. They had at the beginning of October, I think it was the first weekend in October, we had that global kickoff with our international president, President Barranco. And she has asked that all builders and K Kids do a book drive. So that's our global project for this year. We're asked to look at different entities, different organizations. It could be a library, could be a school, a community center. Discuss with them what sort of books, reading materials they would like. Would they want social reading, casual reading? Do they want textbooks? Whatever it is. discuss it with the school, discuss it with the club, wherever you're gonna want to do your project, and do your district project. You collect the books, you hand over the books, and remember now, you take pictures to show. You can also showcase those pictures on the Builders and the K Kids Facebook page, or you can also go onto the websites and speak about what your projects are. Remember, we heard from LG Stefan about K Family Month in November. It's not too early, it's not too late to start planning interactions with your SLP clubs. Do projects with them, invite them to your meetings, or you attend their meetings, but there should be a presence of both of us during November, K Family Month. I thank LG Stefan for his contribution. I've learned a lot about Key Club that I didn't know, and I'm sure other advisors here have learned quite a bit. I'm gonna ask DP Bev, and this is gonna be our final presentation, to give us a little update on the youth protection.
Okay, fine. Thank you, dear. No, I'm going to be very short because you've been hearing about youth protection, but since we have some advisors, some staff advisors on, I would just like to first point out to our staff advisors that there is a requirement from Kiwanis International for staff advisors. Of course, it was faculty advisors before, the name has been changed. And so Kiwanis International is requiring that if there is a staff advisor who is going to accompany students on a trip, a one-day trip or a overnight trip through Kiwanis. So in other words, we're doing a project like a one-day project, DCM, going to conventions and all of that. That particular staff advisor needs to have a background check done by Kiwanis International. Now, don't get nervous about it. Your club, your sponsoring club, I have been asking sponsoring clubs to monitor this situation. And the cost of it is $35 US, which is for a background check, but your sponsoring club can assist in the payment of this fee to get a background check for that particular advisor, and it lasts for 2 years. So your police record that you have as a teacher, you cannot use that to go on the road on a trip with the children through Kiwanis. You may want to use that with other entities, but Kiwanis International is saying that their staff advisors, once they're leaving the premises of the school with the child or the children, they need to have a background check done. And it's $35 US, which your club can negotiate to assist in the payment of that for that particular advisor. I hope you all understand. I'm saying if you have any questions, yes, you can ask now if we have time, or my number is 797-7000, 876-797-7000, Bev Thompson. You can always call me and I will try to help. Where the background checks are concerned for Kiwanian advisors, I hear some people calling it club advisors, the same thing. Your name may not be, and somebody mentioned that their name was not on the dashboard. Yes, because your name has been removed if you have not done a background check. If you're listed as a Kiwanian advisor for your club, your sponsoring club, your name, you have to have a background check that's done by Kiwanis International. Those are, and it's $35 US. It used to be 25, it's now $35 US. If your club wants to have a meeting, an online meeting, let's go through the youth protection policies, again, you can contact me and I will make sure that I'm available to meet with your club. We have been doing these online trainings, and remember, clubs, the training must be your secretary must indicate on the dashboard that your club training for youth protection policies have been done. So that's it from me, just pointers, reminders. And so the audience, if they have any questions that you may want to entertain at this point, I'm willing to take them.
Thank you, DP Bev. Do we have any clarifications which are needed on the youth protection, especially the background checks? You would have heard how important the background checks are. DP.
We can't go through the entire youth protection policy.
I know, but we are fine. There are copies that can be, I know.
They can go online.
They can go online, and if they need copies of it, I'm sure we can get it to them.
There are one-page documents that.
Yes, the one-page document.
Right.
So we're all comfortable? All right. This has turned out to be a wonderful session, if I can say so myself. We have such a wide cross-section of the Kiwanis movement in Jamaica here, if not all these divisions seem to be represented here. We had a wonderful 3 hours. We wanted it to be 2, but it worked itself into 3. We had persons patching in who were face to face, and that's so good. It shows the cohesiveness of the movement here in our little island of Jamaica. And I have to applaud us for that, all of us coming together to ensure that our advisors, whether club or staff, are au fait and comfortable with their roles and what it is that we expect of each other as advisors and clubs as well. I am going to ask LG Ronette.
Hi, dear.
Will you do the closing remarks as the host, LG?
Well, let me thank all the members for attending this presentation this morning. I want to thank the presenters, DA Odent, LG Stefan, DP Beverly, for sharing the relevant information with us. I also want to recognize, my LG team, LG Josette from Division 24 and LG Stefan from 23 East. I saw that we had passed District Trustee Julaine earlier. We also have distinguished lieutenant governors that joined us along with other Kiwanians, faculty advisors. I'm pleased at the turnout this morning.
I also saw LGE Janet.
Oh, I didn't see her. Welcome, LGE Janet, if you're for joining us as well. And thank you all. I hope that you put the information that you would have received today in practice in order for us to have an effective and successful year. All the best and enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you, LG.
Thank you, LG Ronette. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, DA Bev, DP Bev.
So this meeting, this training session is now concluded.